Hey, today I'm going to share about how I work 3 jobs and still somehow have a semi-functioning social life. I still meet my friends, my family, and still have a bit of time to myself for my interests and hobbies. Now, I'm not saying that everybody should work 3 jobs, but even if you are just working the one job, I think some of my tips might help you find a better job, or maybe have time to pick up a side hustle, or find better work-life balance, hopefully. Now, I've talked about the reasons why I'm doing 3 jobs in a separate video, so you can watch that if you want to. But this video, I'm going to talk about how I actually juggle 3 jobs. The number one piece of advice I'll give to anyone who's looking to do multiple jobs would be try to look for jobs that are performance-based, meaning to say your job performance as well as your remuneration are linked directly to your work performance. For example, I work in tuition, and if I can teach 10 students in a single lesson, then I actually earn more than someone who teaches 2 lessons but only has maybe 2 kids in each class. And therefore, my remuneration and job performance is directly linked to how well I am to pack my classes with students, and of course still maintain a certain level of grade improvement, class engagement, etc. So if I'm not good at controlling the class and I'm not good at raising their grades, then people will drop out and my class will not grow. And therefore, my remuneration will drop, my work performance will suffer, and then I'm likely not able to cope with my tuition job and have to drop out from there. When it comes to YouTube and my website, it is even more obvious where performance matters, because making a video that attracts 40,000 views takes about the same time as it is making a video that attracts only 1,000 views, but the results are way better for the 40,000 view video. You get more subscribers, you get more ad revenue, and yeah, you can just earn more money from that one video versus 20 videos that earn only 1,000 views. So jobs like this actually don't require you to spend a lot of hours on it. In fact, spending more hours on something doesn't really improve the quality of the outcomes and therefore doesn't raise your remuneration. And yeah, so such jobs, if you're good at them, you get more remuneration, and then you have more time to go and pursue other things, be it another job or your interests, or spending time with family, etc. So jobs that are performance-based lets you minimize the amount of time that you spend on them, assuming you are able to deliver results on that limited amount of time that you spend on it. Just imagine yourself as a boss. If you have an employee that comes in only 1 day a week, but he brings in $1 million of sales, versus an employee that comes in 5 days or even 6 days, including one weekend, and he only brings in $500,000 of sales. Which employee would you value more? You'll obviously value employee A more because he still brings in more revenue for the company despite working a lot less, and therefore employee A is the one that's going to be rewarded with pay raises, more pay, more time off, etc. So if you want to juggle multiple things, you need to go for jobs that rewards you on performance rather than your mere hours spent sitting at your desk. Now, of course, I'm not saying that I'm the best in the field of tuition and the best in YouTube game. Clearly, I am not, right? But I think I get by well enough such that I can spend not all my time on these pursuits, but still get a reasonable and rather attractive remuneration on both fronts, I would say. Yeah, and therefore that frees my time to get yet another full-time job, which I just started about 1.5 months ago. And of course, to have multiple jobs, you also need understanding employers, understanding business partners who will give their blessing for you to do YouTube and have another job on the side. And I'm not just saying this to praise my business partners or employers. I think they're really open-minded, because it's kind of like having extra spouse, right? Imagine being married and then you tell your other half, hey, I want to marry someone else, and be in a polygamous relationship, and I have no idea where this analogy is going. But I think you get the idea. You need both sides to be understanding. So my employer actually lets me go off a little bit early, such that I can go and teach my evening lessons. And my business partners, they have given their blessings for me to pursue things outside while they run the show. And then I will see how I can value add to the business from time to time. Now, I think most people are quite reasonable. As long as you can do your job well, right? They really don't mind if you take 1 or 2 hours off every now and then. As long as you bring in the performance for the company, yeah, I think you are fine, right? Taking some time to pursue your other jobs or hobbies. And therefore, yeah, look for reasonable people, but of course you must pull your weight in your company. Which is why I have to plug our careers page again and say, please come and contact us if you're interested in teaching in the West area, or if you have, let's say, intention to start your own tuition center at other parts of Singapore. We are very keen to work with you. Another important thing when it comes to juggling 3 jobs is time management. And it's not to say that I'm very good at time management and therefore I can have 3 jobs, but rather having multiple jobs has forced me into being better with my time management. So I continue to take public transport to and fro work, and then from work I go to my tuition center, and then from tuition center I take bus home. And on every bus ride, every train ride, I actually try to maximize my time by doing work, or at least paying off credit card bills, or even taking a nap so that I can be recharged for my next destination. Speaking of spending your time on public transport effectively, you can use the time on the bus or train to sign up for Weeboo and earn yourself some attractive promos. Now, don't click away just because this is an ad, because Weeboo is really giving a very attractive offer. You can see the promo details in the description below. All you have to do is to sign up for an account and then deposit the required amount into your account and make some trades. Now, Weeboo supports my favorite feature of trading apps, which is fractional trading, because it allows you to trade from as low as $5. So check out Weeboo, and I thank them for making my YouTube job a possibility. Now, I've talked about how to manage procrastination as well as to manage time more effectively in an older video, so go check that out if you're interested. And I really follow my own tips when it comes to juggling all 3 jobs I have. One of the best things that COVID has brought for the entire world and people juggling multiple jobs is the concept of work from home, and that has really been a game changer for how we view work. For me personally, it has reduced transportation time tremendously. Now, my full-time job, we have 2 days of work from home, and that's actually considered not as generous as some jobs my friends have, and they can work from home anytime they want, including the entire week if they want to. And that really saves a lot of transport time and actually reduces the fatigue we have when we take public transport going to work. Not only do we spend less time traveling to work, we also spend less time having to dress up, etc. And then we just have more bandwidth in the day to do more things. And I find that work from home really is a very, very big game changer. And therefore, if you want to juggle multiple jobs, you have to find jobs that will allow you to work from home as much as possible. I think that is quite an obvious thing to say, but it is still really one of the ways how I can juggle multiple jobs, and that is I save on a lot of time and bandwidth by having a job that allows me to work from home, even if it's just partially. Now, working from home also allows me to meet my family for lunch every now and then, and this would not be possible if I were to spend Monday to Fridays at my workplace, because it's going to be very far for them to travel down just to have a meal with me. But working from home allows me to catch up with them very often. And therefore, right, work from home is really the best invention COVID has offered to us employees, particularly those juggling multiple things at once. Now, the next tip I have is probably something very cliche, but it is to find things that you're passionate about to become your jobs. And I think I have done that in most of my jobs. I'm very happy teaching, and I'm very happy doing content creation. And my new job, again, to be reviewed at a later date, I find meaningful and something that people need. And therefore, I actually don't dread going into work. I don't have Monday blues. I really like my work, and therefore I don't feel like I am working much. In fact, I feel like this is life. This is what I enjoy. And yeah, I find that it's like a cheat code to doing multiple jobs, because I really don't feel like I'm slogging away. I think some people might think that I'm really like no life and killing myself just to earn more money, but it's actually really part of my hobbies. A lot of these things I would have done without money. The website I did out of interest. My job, again, to be reviewed at a later date, is something that I've always wanted to do, and now I'm being paid to do it. Yeah, so I find it just an absolute pleasure to be working all 3 jobs. Yeah, I think I found a cheat code to life or something. Okay, but I think that is not unique to me, right? Go and find something that you are really passionate about. Try to monetize it, and you never know where that will lead you. But that's not to say that work is 100% good and positive. And of course, there are times where I feel tired. There are also times where I don't feel like working, but I have to do so. And therefore, there are also things that we need to sacrifice. And that is my next point, which is there are some things that has got to go, has got to give, and there will be things that you need to sacrifice if you work 3 jobs like I do. And one of the things I sacrificed was gym, maybe some amount of sleep, as well as I can't meet my friends that often like I used to. And I think that you would make sacrifices if your goal is important to you. And I decided that my goal is important, and therefore there are some things that I'll cut back on so that I can support my 3 jobs that will support my goals and dreams. Now, the last but certainly not the least important thing that gets me through my day would be my drinks. And I mean my teh, my teh peng, my Coke Zero, and of course the occasional whiskey Coke that I enjoy at the end of the day. Teh gives me energy because it has sugar, and Coke Zero is slightly caffeinated, but it has no sugar, so it's healthier. And of course, every now and then you have to relax, and how I do it is drinking a bit of whiskey Coke. Now, I'm not alcoholic, okay, and I think this sounds like alcoholism, but it's not, okay. I'm in control, okay. I watch my sugar, I also watch my alcohol intake, right? But this may sound like a very frivolous point, but I really feel like all these drinks make me get through my day much easier, and yeah, I'm a better worker because of drinks. So I'm just listing it down here, alright? It's just what works for me. You have to find something that works for you. Now, of course, I don't think it's a bed of roses and I have nailed this perfectly, because sometimes a particular thing might crop up and then it will clash with another job, and that's where things get really hectic, and then I have to choose between the jobs, and yeah, that's where things get stressful. And it's only been 1.5 months, so I am still learning and figuring things out along the way. I hope that I can further streamline my week such that I can minimize disruption across the different jobs. But I think so far it's been so good. I hope that continues. Now, I hope my tips were useful or at least entertaining to you. Please drop me a like. If you are someone who juggles multiple jobs, I also like to hear how you can do your job, your side hustles, or multiple jobs at once. Right? Leave them in a comment below. Right? If you like my content, again, drop me a like, subscribe to my Telegram group, and I'll see you next video.